Hello students, this is Ajasar's Maths Academy and I am Ansar sir. Today we are going to study some more figures of speech. Yesterday we studied 4 figures of speech and today let us now study the next figure of speech. And let this fifth figure of speech be, let it be euphemism. Euphemism. In the Greek language, eu means good. Eu means good. Eukaryotic, eupeptic, eulogy, and fem means to speak. Fem means to speak. So euphemism means speaking good about others. So in this figure of speech, a harsh fact, a harsh reality is expressed in soft, mild words. Soft or mild words. So a bitter reality is sugar coated in this figure of speech. कड़वे सच को मीठा बनाकर बोला जाता है because there are certain things which cannot be said as they are. For example, you will remember me after I am gone. You will remember me after I am gone. What does it mean? After I am gone means after my death. After I am gone means after my death. So you will remember me after I am gone means you will remember me after my death. So here after I am gone is about after my death. After my death. So instead of using the word death, because death is a harsh word, so that's why after I am gone. And what we will write here is euphemism. We will get a half mark for identifying the correct figure of speech, and we will write a harsh reality, a harsh fact is expressed in mild terms. Is expressed in mild terms. So there are certain things which cannot be spoken of in front of public. Okay, that's why we say instead of saying washroom, people say I am going to the relax station. Relax station. So they are going to relax themselves. It means they are going to the lavatory. They are going to the urinal or latrine. So instead of using a harsh word which is not liked by others, they use easy words. A dead person is called a late person, L-A-T-E, late. Why do they say late? Because till late that person was alive in this world, later on that person died, and in the latest that person is not available in the world. That's why they say late Mr. Khanna. Late Mr. Khanna means till late he was alive, later on he died, and in the latest he is not present in the world. That's why they write late. We should not say dead Mr. Khanna. We say late Mr. Khanna. In Hindi also, people say स्वर्गीय Mr. Khanna. वो ऐसा नहीं बोलते मुर्दा मिस्टर खन्ना. मुर्दा मिस्टर खन्ना बोलेंगे तो कड़वी बात हो जाएगी, है ना. Instead of calling a person as अंधा, we say he is a visually challenged person. Okay, visually challenged. We say visually challenged. Visually challenged means blind, है ना. हम हिंदी में अंधा बोलेंगे किसी को बुरा लग जाएगा. जर आपण मराठीत म्हटलं की तो माणूस भोकणा आहे तर काय वाटेल त्याला. पण त्यासाठी आपण चांगले वर्ड्स यूज केले पाहिजे, आणि चांगले वर्ड्स म्हणजे व्हिज्युअली चॅलेंज्ड. अंडरस्टूड. ब्लाइंड, physically disabled, handicapped. Instead of saying handicapped, we should say physical, differently abled person. Differently abled. Differently abled means that person is handicapped. physically handicapped, physically handicapped, differently abled, because if person does not have one ability, he is given another ability in an extraordinary manner by God. So that is euphemism. Okay, instead of telling a lie is called a fairy tale. A fairy tale is a lie. If I am telling you a lie, you will say, "Oh, Ansar sir, what a fairy tale you are telling us. What a beautiful fairy tale you are telling us." So a fairy tale is actually a lie. So कड़वी बात को मीठा बोलना is euphemism. For some, the journey is longer. For some, it is shorter. So which journey are we talking about here? We are talking about the journey of his life is over. Instead of saying that the person is going to die, we say the journey of his life is over. He is no more in the world. He has kicked the bucket. He has kicked the bucket. What does that mean, kick the bucket? He has died. So instead of saying he has died, we say he has kicked the bucket. Bucket को लात मार दिया. Actually bucket को लात मार दिया ने मर गए वो. So okay, these are और dead बोलने की जगह instead of we say late. Where shall I write? L-A-T-E, late. Late means dead. So this is euphemism. A harsh reality is sugar coated. जैसे कैप्सूल में कड़वी दवाई जो होती है ना, उसको कैप्सूल में दिया जाता है. You know कि कैप्सूल का जो कवर होता है वो शुगर से बनता है. It is very soft and sweet. उसके अंदर जो पाउडर होता है that is very bitter. So whenever we have to say something bitter, we use sugar coated words, we use sweet words, and that figure of speech is called euphemism. Understood? I hope that you understood this figure of speech. कड़वी बात को मीठा बना के बोलना is called euphemism. The next figure of speech that we will study is transferred epithet. So the next figure of speech, the sixth one that we are going to study is transferred epithet. Transferred epithet. In the Greek language, epitheton means adjective. Epitheton means adjective. And I have told you, it is not adjective. D is silent. In the spelling adjective, D is silent. There is a rule in English. Whenever A, D, J is followed by a vowel sound, D becomes silent. It is not adjust. It is adjust. It should be pronounced like this, adjust. Never say adjust. Adjacent side. In mathematics, it is not adjacent side, it is adjacent side. The court is adjourned, not adjourned. So whenever A, D and J is followed by a vowel sound, then D becomes silent. This is a rule in the English language which many people don't know. See what happens in transferred epithet. So transferred adjective, what is an adjective? What is the Hindi word for adjective? Visheshan. So an adjective in English generally comes before a noun. Raju is a good boy. So good is noun and boy is, good is adjective and boy is common noun. Rani is a good girl. Rani is a beautiful girl. So beautiful is adjective and girl is again common noun. So in English, in most of the cases, most of the times, the adjective comes before the noun. It qualifies. Let us see. She passed a sleepless night. She passed a sleepless night. What does it mean? She passed a sleepless night. Here the adjective sleepless is transferred from she to night. She passed a sleepless night. Sleepless night, what does it mean? Was the night sleepless? No. She was sleepless. The night was not sleepless. So here we will write the reason. We'll write it is transferred epithet. Transferred epithet. The adjective is transferred from its right place to another place. The poets have a thing called poetic license. They can neglect the rules of English grammar. They are allowed to neglect the rules of grammar. That's why we say that they have a poetic license. So transferred epithet. Here we will write the adjective, the epithet. Epithet means adjective. The adjective sleepless is transferred from she to night. इसका मीनिंग समझा क्या? She passed a sleepless night. She passed a sleepless night. Was the night sleepless? No, she was sleepless. So this adjective is suitable for she, not for night. So the adjective sleepless is transferred from she to night. She was sleepless and she passed a night. Okay, this was example number 1. Let us see example number 2. He tossed on the restless bed. He tossed on the restless bed. Toss means move from one side to another side. So he tossed on the restless bed. Restless bed. बेचैन बिस्तर. He tossed on the restless bed. Was the bed restless? क्या बिस्तर बेचैन था या वो ही बेचैन था? He was restless, not the bed. Again, so we will write it is transferred epithet. Transferred epithet, and we will write the adjective, the epithet. Again, epithet means adjective, visheshan. The adjective restless is transferred. The adjective restless is transferred from he to bed. So it was not the bed which was restless, it was he who was restless. Understood? We say it was a busy morning. It was a busy morning. What does it mean? Busy morning. Was the morning busy or were people busy? People were busy or the speaker was busy, not the morning. Even in Hindi also, sometimes we use transferred epithet. In Hindi also we use such expressions. जैसे कि हिंदी में कभी कभी बोलते हैं यार आज का दिन बहुत उदास लग रहा है, आज का दिन बड़ा उदास है. तो दिन उदास नहीं है, हम उदास है, बोलने वाला उदास है, दिन उदास नहीं है. दिन the day is not sad, the speaker is the sad. Now they say it's a sad day today. So the day is not sad, the person is sad. So अगर किसी एक चीज की क्वालिटी किसी दूसरी चीज को चिपका दिए तो that is called transferred epithet. I hope you understood this figure of speech also. Okay, let us proceed to study the next figure of speech. And the next one is let us study now. We will study paradox. मैं वो फिगर्स ऑफ स्पीच पहले समझा रहा हूँ जो कुछ स्टूडेंट्स को डिफिकल्ट लगते हैं, मैं उनको इजी बनाने की कोशिश कर. आई एम ट्राइंग टू मेक दोज फिगर्स ऑफ स्पीच इजियर फॉर यू विच यू फाइंड डिफिकल्ट. लेट्स स्टडी नाउ द नेक्स्ट फिगर ऑफ स्पीच, पैराडॉक्स. द सेवंथ फिगर ऑफ स्पीच इज पैराडॉक्स. Remember, all these figures of speech are there in our syllabus. These figures of speech are there in the 9th standard, in the 10th standard, and even in the 12th standard also. The figures of speech remain the same. So the next figure of speech is paradox. What happens in paradox? The ideas on first reading appear to be against the universal truth. But on second deep reading on second or deep reading, the ideas are found to be true. ये मैंने लिख कर दिया आपको कि what happens in paradox. If we read a particular line written by a poet for the first time, it appears to be against the universal truth. It appears as if he has said a nonsense thing. But when we read it again and we read it in detail or we read it deeply, if we read between the lines, then we come to know that what the poet has said is correct in another sense. For example, please all means please none, please no one. Please all, please none. Please all means please no one. Please all means please no one. सबको खुश करना, इसका मतलब किसी को खुश नहीं करना. आप बोलोगे अरे ये तो उल्टा ही बोल रहे हैं. सबको खुश करना इसका मतलब किसी को खुश नहीं करना. How can it be? For example, suppose you know that I am Ansar sir, I am a teacher. Suppose I give you a grammar test. I give you a test on English grammar, and you all the students take the grammar test and they solve it, and I will check the papers. Some students will get full marks, some will lose 1 or 2 marks, some may lose 3 or 4 marks. But what I am going to do is, I will give all the students a very good. I will write very good on each and every answer paper. So all the students will say, okay, Ansar sir has given us very good, Ansar sir has given us a very good, Ansar sir has given us a very good. So I am trying to please all the students. I want that all the students should become happy. मैं सब स्टूडेंट्स को खुश करने के लिए सबको वेरी गुड दे रहा हूँ, लेकिन पता है क्या होगा रिजल्ट? Nobody will become happy. कोई भी खुश नहीं होगा. क्यों? लेकिन it's a common thing. All the students have received a very good. So what's extraordinary in it? There is nothing extraordinary. There is nothing unique in it. All have got a very good, and that's why nobody will become happy. Though I try to make all happy. मैंने सबको खुश करने की कोशिश किया, लेकिन कोई खुश नहीं हुआ क्योंकि सबको वेरी गुड मिल गया, है ना? अगर मैं 1-2 स्टूडेंट्स को वेरी गुड दे देता था तो कम से कम 1-2 लोग तो भी खुश हो जाते थे. मैंने सबको खुश करने वेरी गुड दे दिया, कोई भी खुश नहीं हुआ. बोले जाने दो, सबको वेरी गुड मिला, क्या फायदा? हमको मिलता तो हम खुश होते अकेले को, लेकिन सबको मिल गया तो nobody will become happy. Understood? So here, अब शॉर्ट इतना बड़ा रीजन तो एग्जाम में नहीं लिखेंगे हम क्या लिखेंगे? यहाँ here we will write paradox. And we will write apparently ना ऐसा appear होता है, ऐसा लगता है. Apparently contradictory ideas, या इसको क्या बोल देते अपन? हाँ ठीक है. Apparently contradictory ideas, contradictory यानी against, उल्टा, opposite. Apparently contradictory ideas are actually true. देखने पर ऐसा लगता है contradictory यानी opposite. सबको खुश करना यानी किसी को खुश नहीं करना, है ना? Apparently against the universal truth. इसको और चेंज कर देता हूं मैं थोड़ा. Apparently against the universal truth. Universal truth. Apparently against the universal truth. देखने पर लगता है ये apparently these ideas are against the universal truth. The ideas are actually true. The ideas are actually true. Apparently it appears that the ideas are against the universal truth. But if we go into details, we find that they are true. These ideas are correct. Another example is, this is the example which William Wordsworth has given. William Wordsworth was called the pantheist of nature. He used to worship nature. He used to say that the tree is God, the river is God, the sky is God, the earth is a goddess, and he called everything as a god and goddess. So God or goddess. That's why he is called the pantheist of nature. P-N, pan means all. T-H-E-I-S-T, theist is God. So he said everything is God. So in one of his poems he says, the child is the father of the man. The child is the father of the man. He wrote an ode, I think ode to a child, I don't remember. I have an entire book written by William Wordsworth. Means I have a collection of his poems, not exactly a handwritten book by him. So the child is the father of the man. If we read the line for the first time, we think it is against the universal truth. The child is the father of the man. बच्चा आदमी का बाप है. हम लिखें बच्चा आदमी का बाप है. छोटा बच्चा बड़े आदमी का बाप है. हाँ, एक तरह से ये सही है. कैसे मालूम है? सी, हु कम्स द फर्स्ट इन द वर्ल्ड, द चाइल्ड और मैन? दुनिया में पहले कौन आता है? आदमी आता है बड़ा पैदा होके कि बच्चा पैदा होता है? पहले बच्चा पैदा होता है, और बच्चे से ही कुछ साल बाद क्या होता? आदमी बनता. पहले दुनिया में छोटा बच्चा पैदा होता है. A child is born first into this world, and then this same child grows up and develops into a man, है ना? बच्चे से ही तो बड़ा होके आदमी बनता है. तो बच्चे से आदमी आया तो बाप कौन कहलाएगा? बच्चा कहलाएगा, क्योंकि बच्चे से ही तो आदमी बना. Understood? Poets are very. Shakespeare has said, poets, lovers, and madmen are all compact in imagination. So the child is the father of the man. What reason we will write? We will write the same reason. Apparently against the universal truth, the ideas are true, or the idea is true. Single idea if it is, so we will write the idea is actually true. Single idea. Apparently against the universal truth, the idea is actually true. The child is the father of man in another sense. Okay, this is called paradox. पैराडॉक्स में ऐसा ही होता है. पहली बार पढ़ो तो लगता है कि ये ऐसा हो ही नहीं सकता, ये झूठ है. लेकिन डबल से पढ़ो, ध्यान लगाओ, तो लगता है नहीं यार, ऐसा भी तो पॉसिबल है. द चाइल्ड इज द फादर ऑफ द मैन. दुनिया में पहले बच्चा आता है, बच्चे से ही तो बड़ा होकर आदमी बनता है. तो बच्चा क्या हुआ? बाप हुआ. उसी से आदमी बना. आदमी क्या हुआ? बच्चा बन गया. Okay, let's study the next figure of speech. See, the eighth figure of speech we will study is pun. P-U-N, pun. Small short spelling. So what happens in this figure of speech? In pun, a single word has at least two different meanings which both are applicable in a particular case. So here we write a single word has two or more meanings, and they are applicable also. No, we'll write only this much. A single word has two or more meanings. This happens even in Hindi also. I will first give you a Hindi example, then we will proceed to study the English examples. See the word sona. Sona has two meanings in Hindi, at least two meanings. हमें सोना चाहिए, हमें सोना चाहिए. इसका एक मीनिंग क्या होता? हमें सोना चाहिए, हमें सोना चाहिए. और एक मीनिंग क्या होता? We want gold. हमें गोल्ड चाहिए, हमें सोना चाहिए, है ना? तो सोना वर्ड के दो मीनिंग्स हो गए. हमें सोना चाहिए से तो एक ही वर्ड के डबल मीनिंग जो होते हैं, ऐसे वर्ड्स को पन बोलते हैं. ऐसे फिगर ऑफ स्पीच को पन कहते हैं. सी इन इंग्लिश, in Wren and Martin they have given the example, the happiness of life. I am modifying it a little. The happiness of life depends upon the liver. Depends upon the liver. The happiness of life depends upon the liver. See, the word liver here has at least two meanings. The happiness of life depends upon the liver. So one liver is the body organ, the largest gland of the body, the body organ liver. And another meaning is the person who lives. The person who lives is called a liver. The person who lives is called a liver. So the happiness of life जिंदगी खुश रहेंगी या उदास, whether our life will be happy or sad depends upon the liver. How? It depends upon the body organ liver. If our liver gets affected due to some abnormality, due to some physical disorder, then life will not be happy. If we are suffering a liver failure or any other disease of the liver, hepatitis, jaundice, if we are suffering from any disease of the liver, life will not be happy. And another meaning is, if the liver is not good, then the person will not be happy. Why? Which liver? The person. If the person is a negative thinker, then life will not be happy. I will give you an example to prove this. A child was walking along the road. Suppose it's a short story. A person, short means really very short. A child was walking along the road carrying a 1 rupee coin, and all of a sudden the child lost that 1 rupee coin. He wanted to purchase some biscuits for himself, but by mistake he lost that 1 rupee coin on the road while walking along the road. So he starts crying. The child starts crying. Let it be a boy. It can be a girl also. Girls will imagine it is a girl, that the person was a girl, and the boys will think that it is that person was a boy. So the child starts crying. When the child is seen crying by an uncle, the uncle comes close to the child and says, "What has happened, my child? Why are you crying?" The child says, "Oh uncle, I wanted to purchase some biscuits. I lost my 1 rupee coin. That's why I am crying." The uncle says, "Don't worry, my child. I will give you a 1 rupee coin. You can go and purchase the biscuits now." So the uncle opens up his wallet and he gives a 1 rupee coin to the child. The child starts crying even louder. The uncle says, "What has happened now?" The child says, "Oh uncle, if I had not lost that 1 rupee coin, I would have 2 rupees and in my pocket now. अगर मेरा वो 1 रुपया गुम नहीं जाता था तो अभी मेरे पास 2 रुपये जमा हो गए रहते." And he starts crying even louder. So what is it? Negative thinking. So happiness of life depends upon the liver also. It depends on the person also who is living in this world. If he wears a black colored goggle, the world will appear to be dark to him. Okay, because it all depends on our thinking. So happiness of life depends upon the liver. जिंदगी में खुशी रहेगी या गम रहेगा, ये जीने वाले पर भी डिपेंड करता है और कलेजे कलेजी पर भी डिपेंड करता है. ओके, दैट इज द एग्जांपल. अब यहाँ क्या लिखोगे आप? द वर्ड लिवर, you'll write it is pun, because the word liver has two meanings. The word liver has two meanings. The body organ liver, and the person who lives. The person who lives. Both applicable here. Oh, don't write this much. Both applicable. If you write both applicable, things will become difficult for you. Both the meanings are applicable. दोनों meanings हो सकते हैं यहाँ पर, है ना? जिंदगी लिवर पर डिपेंड करती है. दोनों meanings हो सकते हैं. फिर rest lay at the bottom. In the 10th standard there is a poem called The Pulley, written by George Herbert, and in that poem he says, "Rest lay at the bottom." So the word rest has at least two meanings. The word rest, here we will write it is pun. In the 10th standard Maharashtra State Board, there is a poem called The Pulley, written by George Herbert. In that poem, this line is there: "Rest lay at the bottom." So the word rest has two meanings here. Has at least two meanings. Two meanings. What are they? One is relaxation. Rest is relaxation. And the other is remaining. Relaxation and meaning. Rest lay at the bottom. If you study the poem, then only you will understand the entire crux of this line. God had a bottle in which all the good qualities were there. God wanted to give all the good qualities to human beings. God gave all the good qualities to human beings except rest. God did not give the quality of rest to human being. The bottle was emptied upon man. All the good qualities were given to the man, but the quality of rest was kept in the bottle. It was not given. So the quality of rest was lying at the bottom of the bottle. So the word rest was lying at the bottle means relaxation was lying at the bottom of the bottle, or we can say remaining qualities were at the bottom of the bottle. Remaining qualities were not given. Remaining quality was not given to man. So the word rest, even if you don't understand the line, meaning of the line, it doesn't matter. I will give you another example because you will have to study the poem to understand the meaning of the line. I will give you another example of pun, but I know that you understood it. You understood right from the very first example. हमें सोना चाहिए. Sona is either gold or sleep. Pun, another example. My dad lies abroad. My dad lies abroad. So lies has to mean, abroad means in a foreign country. Abroad means in a foreign country. So lies means it is pun. It is pun. The word lies has two meanings. The word lies has two meanings. And what are these two meanings? Number one, lives, and number two is tells lies. My dad tells lies abroad. मेरे पापा दूसरे देश में जाके झूठ बोलते हैं. और एक मीनिंग है my dad lives abroad. मेरे पापा रहते हैं दूसरे देश में. So the word lies has two meanings here. Understood? So one word can have many meanings and both the meanings may be applicable in the same line. That figure of speech is called pun. So you have seen that the eighth figure of speech was pun, and what happens in pun? One word has two or more meanings. Now we will study its opposite, the figure of speech which has its opposite meaning. That figure of speech is called litotes. In litotes, two or more words have the same meaning, almost the same meaning, not exactly the same, almost the same meaning. पन में क्या होता है, एक वर्ड के डबल दो मीनिंग्स होते हैं कम से कम. पन में एक वर्ड के दो मीनिंग्स होते हैं. लाइटोटीज में क्या होगा, नॉट लाइटोटीज, इट इज टोटोलॉजी. Sorry, by mistake I said litotes. Litotes is a different figure of speech. We will deal with it later on. Tautology, sorry, by mistake मेरे मुंह से कुछ और निकल गया. Tautology. So what happens in tautology? पन में क्या होता है, एक वर्ड के दो मीनिंग्स होते हैं, और tautology में दो वर्ड का एक मीनिंग होगा, नियरली द सेम. So the ninth figure of speech is tautology. Tautology. रिमेंबर, लॉजी से पहले जो भी आए उसको एक्सेंट मार्क देते हैं, उसे जोर से पढ़ते हैं. बायोलॉजी, रेडियोलॉजी, कॉस्मोलॉजी, टॉटोलॉजी. टॉटोलॉजी ट का ठ हो जाएगा और लॉजी से पहले आ रहा है इसलिए ठ को जोर से पढ़ेंगे. टॉटोलॉजी. टॉटोलॉजी. सो हियर two or more words have almost the same meaning. Two or more words have almost the same meaning. Don't write two or more words have the same meaning. Almost the same, nearly the same, exactly same meaning वाले कोई भी दो words. There are no two words in English which have exactly the same meaning. Even no and not also are not the same. No में और not में भी difference होता है. No और not का भी meaning एक जैसा नहीं है. आप सोचेंगे no और not, हाँ, no और not का भी meaning एक जैसा नहीं है 100%. अब वो क्यों नहीं है, वो लंबी कहानी मैं नहीं समझाऊंगा. It is very easy, I can explain, but it is very lengthy story. So two or more words have almost the same meaning. या तो similar meaning लिखो या almost the same meaning. फॉर एग्जाम्पल विलियम वर्ड्सवर्थ की एक पोएम में विलियम वर्ड्सवर्थ लिखता है शी वॉज मोशनलेस एंड स्टिल. एग्जाम्पल, she was motionless and still. So see, the word motionless and still have nearly the same meaning. What we will write is tautology. The words single quotation marks में motionless and still have almost the same meaning. The words motionless and still have almost the same meaning. लगभग एक जैसा ही मीनिंग है motionless and still. Another example. Life seems useless and worthless without it. This line is from a poem in the 10th standard, The Will to Win. Life seems useless and worthless without it. You will study this poem in the 10th standard. I think in the 4th unit, maybe. Life seems useless and worthless without it. So here we will write the words useless and worthless have nearly the same meaning. Useless and worthless means meaningless. Useless and worthless both have nearly the same meaning, meaningless. Life seems meaningless without it. Then the next figure of speech, or let us do one thing, we will stop here. In the next class we will see the other remaining figures of speech. There are nearly 17 to 18 figures of speech that are there in our syllabus. So we will study them in the next class. I will explain. Then we'll start studying other things also. Have a nice day. Stay at home and avoid going outside. Tautology.